Sometimes I sit around and I wonder, why me? Why do I have certain coincidences in my life and certain aspects of me having to dwell in the same sort of cycle? So weird. Um, I get asked all the time, especially lately, for money. There's so many panhandlers and people that are seeking some type of assistance in that way. And I understand the majority of them are homeless too. And I've seen them here and there. But I was sitting at the parking lot at the Kroger where I had filmed that man just last night dancing around. And I'm sitting there, I just got in my car and I was sifting through either just on my phone or sifting through a few of my belongings. And some man comes up and he taps on the window. And normally I know it's just them asking for money. It doesn't matter who it is, what race they are, whatever. It was some older black gentleman, and he had a little boy who was only about maybe 5-6 years old. And he was nudging the little boy to tell him, ask her. And the little boy was just very quiet, and he had his jacket on, and his hair was kind of tattered. It wasn't maintained as well as it could have been, I'm sure. And the man asked me, he said, well, I'm just asking for a few dollars. And literally, I'm using the last few dollars that I've got I need to go wash my laundry, because I feel like at least I need to maintain myself at the very least. I need to be cleanly and hygienic and try to keep myself as best I can. So of course I feel bad, because he not only motioned to the little boy, but then he said, we've been living in our vehicle, an SUV, and he said, we see my other little boy, popping out of the back door. And of course I've got to feel bad for people, but all it did was remind me too of the fact that my father would do the same things with us children and force us to have to beg for assistance for the entire family. And I felt mortified for that little boy, because I could tell he was growing up with that mentality of feeling ashamed of having to ask for assistance. And that's exactly what it is. They shame you into a state of not, and like me, that's why I don't ask for assistance. Hardly ever do I ask, because I know I'm already going to get rejected. So, it's just that mentality. It's that low income, you're sustained on so much, and that's just how it is. And I don't know. And then you use your children to help you manipulate the system in such a way. And it just reminded me of all the times that my father, and I always thought, oh, he tried to love and care for us, by tending to our needs. And then I also thought, well, isn't it selfish that he had so many children then? So that he ended up, having all these mouths to feed. So I can see from both sides of the fence. And I don't really weigh in on either side, because it's up to everybody else and their use of the psychology that has developed these different research material, data that has been compiled from research studies and everything. So what I'm stating is that I can see from both sides. I can understand when you're on some hardships and you need to tell your children to help you out and this and that, but to use it as a pawn to try to stabilize your own security throughout life, that's where I have an issue with it, because I'm like, that child shouldn't have to be living in those circumstances then, if you're not able to maintain the child and afford for the child. And so that's why I had thought at some instance, when I realized I had lost custody, I was like, well, maybe it was for the best. Maybe I wasn't able to support her like she should have been supported. But that's a lie. That's a complete lie. because I could have gotten the assistance and I would have been able to maintain and I would have forced myself into progressing. But I listened to everybody else's opinions, and that's where it's wound me into this circumstance where I'm giving away my last few dollars to people in the same circumstance as me. So I dug through my purse and I gave him a dollar bill, and I was like, here you go, this is all I got at the moment. I don't carry much cash on me. I needed that exact amount of the rest of my dollars for the laundromat. So I was like, here you go. And it happens to me all the time. I wish I could get this stuff on video. I offer so much of my final little pennies and my little bit of something. And I just gave a lady a ride home because her tire got, she got a flat tire. I'm not seeking any credit for any of these things. What I'm stating is, even at my lowest, I'm still there to help other people. Even at my worst, people say, you're the worst person in the world. And I'm thinking, am I? Because a majority of the people that know me face to face recognize that I'm out to help them and not hurt them. So, like, when I get asked these things, I think to myself, well, what can I give up? And I wish I would have been able to reach back I was in a hurry at that time to go get my laundry done so I could help that lady get a ride home when she got off work. So I couldn't even think to give him any of the extra energy bars that I had in the back or anything like that. I was just frustrated because at this point, it's just like, I literally have barely 2 pennies to rub together. And I'm sitting here trying to help humanity day by day by the occurrences here and there. I'm no one and I'm nothing. It makes no sense that I have to be the one to empty my pockets when I'm already homeless and living off of nothing and didn't get paid the last 4-5 months, my disability check, because my ex-husband lied to the Social Security Department and stated that I didn't offer any gifts or any money or any financial backing for that child. So they stated I owed them $4,316 because I was getting paid $100 a month for a kid that wasn't technically under my custody. So that's how they mess people over. They mess them over all kinds of crazy, corrupt ways. And then I've been out, not been able to support myself, disabled citizen, sleeping in her car, homeless, and they still want more from me. And I tried to explain that to them. I said, I don't have any of the proof. I went to jail 2 years ago for harassing this man's communication. And if you don't see that it's out of pure vindication on his end, that he left me with 2 loaded guns, and that he's manipulating the system and manipulating everything, then I'm not really sure what to tell anybody anymore. Because I'm just like, I just will continue to compile evidence against this situation and the way that I'm the one. It makes no sense. Why am I even here on this earth? So that people can rip everything away from me? So they can take everything that I thought that I had earned. Everything that I thought I had earned respectfully and, legitimately. And it gets ripped away from me anyway. It doesn't matter because the base is from, like, what is that? Just because the majority says one thing doesn't mean that it's the right thing. So even though people weigh in their votes discussing, oh, she's a terrible person, we need to destroy her, we need to get rid of this, she needs less. I lost everything because you took the words of a manipulative narcissist. And now I'm literally giving away the last few dollars that I have and the last bits of food, because I go and I drop off food here and there, especially the foods that I can't eat or that I get from other places and this and that. I just spread as much compassion as I possibly can, because I know what it's like to not have anybody on your side and not to have anybody believe you and not to have anybody there that cares at the end of the day. So I'll sit there and I'll listen to people like a therapist that I don't get paid for. So people rattle on and on and on about their issues because they know I'm a safe person to discuss them with. And I state all these facts and I tell them through psychological terms and all the research I've done on different disorders. So, and it's not just YouTube videos of the disorders. I actually research and read the actual, scientific documents and articles about a lot of these things. But I can't grasp all of that information to relay on the spot when I'm dealing with too much stress. And people don't realize I've just been under a lot of stress, say the last 34 years. 35 technically, if you consider being inside the womb and having my dad beat my mother during that time. So I shouldn't be here. I try to help people out and I still get taken advantage of constantly. It makes no sense to me. Is there ever going to be an ending to this? All it is take. And then at some instances I think, well, maybe I should take then. Maybe I should get back at these people and show them a few things and prove a few points here and there. And then I just a lot of times don't, but sometimes I do. Give them the middle finger. But a majority of the time, I am just a really good moral, try to be moral and ethical, outstanding citizen, right? Try to be an outstanding citizen. For me, I'm just I laugh because if this man is going around asking for money for him and his kids, living in a vehicle and everything during COVID, and regardless if it was a lie or not, the fact of the matter is they're asking someone with even less than they have, more than likely. That's the funny thing. I give back to people that have more than me. And that's actually hilarious because, don't you even realize you're stealing from someone that has barely anything? Even barely enough sanity to make it through the day? And you're going to take the money, all this and that? I'm not pissed off. And people think that because of my attitude, because of the way that I sound, that I'm pissed off. No, I'm grateful. I'm actually grateful that I had enough to offer him that money. I had just enough money to get through the laundromat, and I'm actually very happy. So regardless of my tone, and it may sound like I'm being condescending or angry, I'm actually extremely ecstatic right now. I'm very happy because those people got that little bit of money, because I get to go about my fucking day, and it doesn't matter if I cuss. What is wrong with you people? When you take somebody's attitude and tone and you don't know them personally, and then you're going to sit there and reflect your own perspective on that and tell me that I'm hyped up? No, different cultures have different ways of approaching things. And sometimes when I sound like I'm being condescending or talking too fast or this and this and this and just hyped up, it's because I'm emotional. And I'm constantly emotional because I wasn't able to deal with these things as a child. I was always neglected. So when I actually am dealing with it now as an adult, society should have to deal with it because you allowed crazy people to raise me. And I spoke out against it even when I was 12 years old and thought, well, no, they've got to do something to fix this, right? God, right? I mean, we all believe in the same God, don't we? Oh, no, I guess apparently we don't. Apparently it's all different gods, and everyone here in the United States is at each other's throats because they don't know what the differences in religion are, and the fact that we should actually respect and stop discriminating against people like me. But all I feel like I've ever been is discriminated against. Constantly. Especially over my looks. Especially over my demeanor. Over my attitude. You need an attitude adjustment. No, I do not. And please, if I have too much of an attitude for people, fucking slit my throat then. Fucking come and do it your goddamn self. I pray that somebody comes near me. Because honestly, I would fight. I'd hurt a bitch. But at the same token, why should I have to? So I go around with a smile on my face, Like I went and folded clothes at the laundromat that's over on the shady side of town near the projects. And there I was just doing my laundry with my fancy clothes and yada yada that I've compiled that everybody would probably want to steal so they can make money off of. But I watch my laundry. I'm there. I'm coherent during these times, and I notice the people in and out. And one time when I was homeless, living on the streets because the officers shoved me out on the streets, I said, "But my car is on the impound, and I don't know where my keys or my phone are. Can you help me?" Like, no one could understand where that extra set of keys and that phone went when I specifically handed them to the officers. So I was left for dead again by the authorities here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, way back to 1 year ago. A year ago. And the funny thing is that the fact that I can actually retain these memories is astounding because of all of those psych meds that they pumped into me during the psych ward stays and the shots that I wasn't able to reject. They forced upon me. So then thereafter, and I told like the officers about my phone and keys at one point, and then no one knew where, and I went to all the jurisdictions. The officer dropped me off at a McDonald's gas station and left me there. He said, one of the officers said, "You need me to buy you a meal?" And at that time too, I was vegan, so I didn't want to eat anything because it gave me the shits. So, yeah, I just don't understand humanity. I don't. So I had barely enough, like I was saying, all of this is just so messed up, all of my memories of this, and I'm looking for them. I like literally watch my back all the time because I know that any officer at any moment could say I'm being disorderly and shove me in a psych ward for no goddamn reason. So that's why I feel like I'm always being threatened, because there's no way that any of that is actually humane. None of it. None of the things that have happened to me has been humane in my entire life. And people think that I'm acting. People think, no, if I go on and on about the same instances over and over every day, I'm pretty sure that's post-traumatic stress disorder and not me just compiling random things and shoving it together like it's some kind of crazed novel that I don't want to write this novel. It's writing itself. And I tell people that. I don't want to write these things down. I don't want to tell people that my dad was a fucking pedophile. That's the most humiliating thing in my fucking life. In the way that my ex-husband left me, I didn't want to humiliate myself and openly admit these things. I was in denial, though, by not admitting them. So I had to relay this information to whomever wants to know, whomever wants to seek it. And I know my daughter will be seeking answers when she's old enough. And everybody tells me she'll come back. It doesn't matter. She will. Every child will want to know about their parent. So the fact that everything has happened to me because of my attitude, and yet I'm the first person to offer some stranger my cash or this and that or my food or whatever they need, a transport, something, are you okay? Over an officer? Please. Please. Like I stated so many times, because it's like you guys make me out to be the demon when in actuality you wouldn't give anybody 2 fucking cents aside from your fucking stupid ass incompetence to think that we give a shit about your stupid stress from your goddamn job from the government, and they're using you anyway. You're just a pawn. So you need to recognize that as well. You've got that's why you're so disgruntled in your uniforms, because you know damn well you're not at the top. So then you're lingering at the bottom, on the bottom of this fucking chain, and you realize too that you're just being used. You don't get paid enough to have to deal with these crazies. So then you take it out on us. And that's how it is. Short fuse. That's actually mental disorder. that is. Like, people don't even realize that the ones that enforce their will, the ones that want to, those are megalomaniacs. Those are ones with power, authority complexes, issues with power of authority, or not, being the power. And they get corrupt in that way. And they don't even realize that it's happening. And then it's just like, it's done and over with. People's lives are ruined. Their life will inevitably be ruined because all they do, they're monsters. They can't even see what they do wrong. They think, oh yeah, we're helping the United States government by harming all these other people. That's not right. It's not. We're all in this together. All of us. So there's all these differences with class and the rich and the poor, and this huge separation of how we should be living just at a modest level. But people down here want so badly to be up here, and the ones up here just continually rise higher because of capitalism, gaining all this wealth and stepping on each one of us on the pole, on the steps to their greatness, or what they presume is greatness. You think you're gonna own all these materials when you pass over? Is that gonna go over to the other side? Like with your pyramids and all these wealth just accumulated, and people end up stealing it from you thousands of years later, and then they make fun of and display your corpse for everyone to witness? That's defiling your corpse. Do you realize that you can't take any of this? None of this, any of this with you. So people don't recognize that we're just souls, and we're just trying to reach out and should be beneficial for one another, helpful for one another. But instead, all I get is shit on. Every time I ask somebody for something, no. That's why I don't ask. I just wait for people to hand me things now. If this is what you want me to sign, fine. Sign my life away. Here, you want me to do this? Sure. I don't care. Here, you want me to do... Sure. Don't care. It's barely enough to cover me, like I stated. But then I go without my disability check because my ex-husband tells them that I didn't offer anything to my child. I'm pretty sure that my destroyed body and all the stretch marks and the saggy boobs, that should give me an automatic... No, $4,316, that's, I'm pretty sure no. Pretty sure no. You received gifts, you received all the money and everything, and then I'm still gonna have to pay the government back for it? That is so messed. I try to tell people too, when all these things were happening, I started laughing hysterically. I was like, really? No, there's no way this keeps happening to me. Every time I try to fight, every time I try to snub their toes, like, please back the fuck up. Please, you're hurting me. You're still harassing me and my psychosis. You're harassing me and my mental state. You're actually the abusers. And then it's just like they don't see it, though. Because they're in denial. They're in denial that they could ever hurt anyone else. They're in denial in the facts that all of this has led to someone traumatized sitting in a Walmart parking lot making videos at 10, 11 at night. Some nights I get so stressed out, I just have to fall asleep immediately because I'm so stressed from this realm. So I don't even get to brush my teeth, and then I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to go somewhere to finish brushing my teeth and flossing, gargling, everything, my procedure, because that's how I still have all of these. So anyway, yeah, I'm glad that guy got my dollar. Fuck it. Dollars are gross. They carry contaminants on them. And then when the older generation starts talking to me about money, I told them it's going to be obsolete at some point, that we're not going to have paper anymore, because they realize all the viruses and germs that can be spread through all these different Anyway. I wish I were dead. I wish there were so many things that I could just fuck the world. Just fuck everything, fuck everyone. But instead, I'm just like super positive about it. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, at least people got something today, and at least that person's happy, at least this person's happy. And I go about my business, and people are like, she's so nice, she's so kind, she's so thoughtful, she's so considerate. Yes, I actually am. I completely am. But then there's these moments where I tell everyone, fuck you, I'm in pain, fuck you, my mind hurts, fuck you, my brain hurts, fuck you, my dad, fuck you, my brother, fuck you, my mom, fuck you, my ex-husband, fuck everybody, you're fucking insane, fuck my ex-mother-in-law, fuck my ex-husband's cousins, deranged, fuck my ex-husband's grandparents, fuck his everything, fuck his new wife, every single person. How in the fuck do you replace somebody as a mother over the words of freedom of speech? I didn't even do anything physically wrong. Like, literally, I didn't do anything. I said a few things that were fucked up because they were the truth. Anybody would want to kill their ex-husband like that, and I told him. He's not even fucking dead on this plane, but watched his fucking soul burn. And people are like, you can't really watch his soul burn. No, you can't. But when you cross over in and out of shit like I do all the fucking time, you strike up a few deals here and there, and that's why I keep coming back to this plane. That's the only reason. Literally, I should have died when I was like 2 years old. Should have died in the womb. Should have died numerous times up until I was 12 when I had my first suicide attempt. Then, again, I had another one, the next really bad one. Shit, I don't even remember. I just remember all the times documented through the ER stays. It's all you gotta look up. All the different ER stays near Beloit, Wisconsin and Janesville, Wisconsin, and then also all the ER stays here in Hot Springs, Arkansas. There's been numerous. And that's not even including the ones that I didn't go to the hospital for. That I ended up waking up like that 90 bars of Xanax. I did not feel good. There was vomit all over the living room. I went to sleep in my bed with the 90 bars thinking, oh yeah, this was good. Go to sleep. Everything's cool. I woke up in the living room. I remember smacking my knee at one point, like in that state of trying to save myself. There was vomit all down the hallway in my house. Vomit all over the living room, all over my computer, all over pictures of my daughter. And this because this is right after my daughter. So everyone thinks I'm crazy. But then again, there's people in the same fucking boat as me, and they turned to drugs. They turned to hard drugs because they were like, nah, fuck it. And then they end up getting their kids back. What? I am not even fucking playing. I've met so many people. Oh yeah, I was on hard drugs, but then I got off of them and I got my kids back within like 6 months. What? And I'm literally begging these people to correct a falsified document, and they don't do it. Because I would have to pay money for them to give a shit about me. They need money to give a shit about a human being. Although their jobs are based around caring for other people. Which is interesting how that's an oxymoron right there. Interesting. You sign an oath to protect and serve. So far, all I see you doing is protecting those pedophiles and serving them little girls on a platter. little boys on a platter. That's all I see. So, after all these years of just harping about, hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? Nobody listens. Still, after all these years. But you do the research on each individual person and everyone knows I'm not fucked up. I'm actually telling the truth. So, yeah, like I said, there's a 30-minute video about me being excited that I donated $1 today. And it wasn't even just today. It's all the time. I do the stupid round up your change shit. I do this and that. Just a little bit here and there helps. Or so I thought. Maybe that is what's sustaining my soul on this plane, is the tiny little gifts I offer to the world, because here and there I've been told, you're an angel. You fluttered into my life and you changed it forever. Just the little things that I've done for people, leaving comments here and there about the work that they do. And then I hear later on, well, I ended up getting a supervisor position, or I ended up getting this and that. Oh, great, that's awesome. They had no idea that I also was there just to tell people about their names. I'm always looking for name tags. When I go into places, whether or not they give me good or bad service, and then I give everyone my opinion on it. Because I have nothing else better to do with my time. There's nothing. I don't want to do anything. I'm going to be completely honest. I wish I could go to school, but that's too much of a hassle. I'd have to think about how I get the money for going to school. I'd have to think about how I would, where I would go to get the internet for my laptop and whatever. I'd have to think about too much, and I don't want to do that anymore. Why think? I'm just part of the lowly lower class, so why should I have to think anymore? I should just plug along in their little slot of trash that I am, and that way everybody's happy. Everyone is happy. And I'm just fine, because I find happiness and joy in the little things. Like, I literally had French fries, and I shouldn't be eating too many French fries. They were room temperature. That's how I got them. I ate them. I was still satisfied in the fact that they were French fries. But I left a comment on their website to complain, because that's not how you should approach things. That's the only thing I purchased, and you're gonna have me sit in the window for 5 minutes, and I anticipated hot fries. I was like, oh, they must be cooking them. No. Then they came to me cold. There's always disappointment within happiness. There's the duality in life, and that's actually really hilarious, because like, I can have a shitty day, but I can still find something to be happy about. And it reminds me of Pollyanna, that movie. And she's like, let's play the glad game. There's always something to be glad about. It's just like for me, it's just the little things. I'm just so happy that I ended up having some dinner, or someone was able to purchase me some dinner the last couple nights. And then I got, whatever. I try to practice my little thing. I have no one to talk to. I literally have no friends. I literally have no family, and I have no friends. My family, they don't care. They don't care that I'm going through a mental break. Even my distant relatives, they don't care. They may be on my Facebook. They may see this and that. They may know that I'm suicidal. They don't reach out. I haven't been able to post on Facebook for so long, and they don't even realize that I have these videos out there, a majority of them. So, my friends and family. And that's why I think it's hilarious, because I'm just like, I put these videos out there for my child in the future, so she can know and understand where I'm coming from, what it was like to be around me, and if she would have liked to be around me. Because a majority of people enjoy being around me, because I'm not always sad. I'm not always angry. I'm actually really happy when people are making me happy, in that sense of like, let's mirror each other's image. Let's build each other up. Let's positivity. Why do you think I ended up losing 155 pounds on my own? Because all I was doing was being by myself, enjoying my own time, enjoying myself. And that's why I'm not that sad. People are like, oh, isn't it cramped in your car? Like, no, I actually have a mattress that's like a memory foam in the back. It fits perfectly. And, yeah, I do worry that I'm going to get fucking raped and stabbed in the middle of the fucking night by the places that I park. But hopefully, God willing, the cops will show up to arrest me after I've been raped and beaten. Because that's a majority of what they do, and that's what I'll be expecting the next time I need to call the police for something, because every time they always look at me like I'm trying to manipulate something, yet I'm the victim. It's actually the truth. I literally am not manipulating anything. I literally was grabbed. I was literally raped. I was literally this. I was literally fondled. And no one believes me. That's the sickest reality a U.S. citizen could deal with. Like this, in this day and age, I'm a woman in the United States, raised in the 90s, born in 87, raised in the 90s and taught that women had an opinion. Women had a choice. Women were leaders now. And that I could be and do whatever I wanted. But that was a fabrication. That was a lie. All of it. Because every time I sought help, I got shit on. And I knew why. Because the only thing I've ever done in my life, I've stolen from a couple places, yeah, but I always gave back in other ways, so I knew it couldn't have been that. The promiscuity. That's the only other thing. What else? Aside from being just lowly trash, we sin upon entering this realm. And that's what you're taught through the religious texts. That it's a sin to just be alive. So I realized, I was like, oh, well, I'm taking from this realm. I'm taking from this universe. I'm taking from this and that. I shouldn't do those things. Even sitting here with the car on, wasting all this gas. I know the emissions. I know this and that. I know that the wasted energy in me speaking of these things is just that. Wasted breath. Because no one of any what is the word? Or no one of any authority gives a shit what I have to say. And that's the fucking truth. I'm just a lowly, disabled citizen, now suffering through homelessness. And I mean nothing to the system, no matter how educated I am, no matter how truly intelligent I could be or could become, the potential that I might have had. It didn't matter. I was phased out because I was too old to be taught after a certain point. So now I'm just fluctuating within the same cesspool of nonsense. My world just trapped in a cycle, in a flow, because I keep coming back to the same issues. No one has solved any of those issues. No one's helped me solve them. They said solve them on your own. How am I supposed to solve this on my own? How am I supposed to get my daughter back when everything that I ever had of value was ripped away from me, so I couldn't even exchange those items of value to seek more on top of that so that I could get back to square one? I'm not even at square one anymore. I'm beneath level 1. If there were negative numbers, I would be furthest down. It makes no sense. Why be taught this much? Why in this day and age am I a girl? Why do I know so much of this information? Why do I enjoy mathematics? Why do I enjoy science? Why do I enjoy learning still at this age? What am I? I really don't understand. I don't. I would like for this to be over. I want to very badly harm myself just because I know that my story is out there and no one does anything about it. And there's no one of any type of power that could do anything about it unless they gave a shit, which they don't. And I'm thinking, it doesn't matter. Everybody will get their karma regardless, because whomever stumbles upon these videos, whomever laughs at me, whomever degrades me for expressing my emotions toward the trauma that I've sustained, you'll get your karma. It's like, you have no idea how much I've suffered, and I thought I was doing wrong for speaking up, and that's why I was getting beaten and shoved into the hole all the time. Why was I being taken to the hole when all these other people were the ones that needed to be locked in the hole for being insane and for touching children and doing this and that? Insane. You're all insane. And I'm very tired, and I'm going to take a nap immediately after this because I am so disgusted with what I see. I literally had to give money away again. And then I get asked all the time in and out of grocery stores and this and that. The funny thing is, I've given money to these people standing outside the Kroger over on Central near the mall asking for donations for teenage suicides. And I laugh because I actually do offer money. What good is the money to me? I'm suicidal. Should I sit there and tell them, hey, guess what? Maybe you should give me some of the money because I'm suicidal. No. Why argue that point? They don't fucking care. I'm already beyond the age of help. They only want to help babies. They want to help the little ones. But they don't even help them. They turn out like me. Just trash. Just wasteful and taking from the government. Not doing anything to better the world. Just trash. Just fucking trash. That's all I am. So, anyway, that's how it's gonna be. Always gonna be fucking trash. It's pretty funny, actually. Sit around in my fucking car recording videos of myself, and then I go back and watch them, and I just laugh so much because I'm like, oh my god, you're so silly, Leticia. And why are you so vulgar sometimes? And why are you so crude? And my mother would say, oh, you're so uncouth. You're so uncouth. Like, okay, look in the mirror. So anyway, and then people are like, oh, isn't that disrespecting your mother and father? Isn't that against your religion? Well, then maybe I'm not part of that fucking religion, even though technically I'll always be because I was baptized. So, anyway, it doesn't matter. Either way, my soul is saved. And I can preach all I want to. Saint Michael, the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world seeking the ruin of innocent souls. Amen. Anyway, I'm over it, and I'm over you people because you're all horrid. And I just want to nap for eternity. Can I just die now? After expressing so much? Can I just keel over? Or is this just some kind of sick joke to the people around me? Sick joke that I can't get back to my kid. sick joke that I can't be the one to help her progress, and then you're just gonna leave her in some kind of trash waste. She came from my corpse. So, I just don't understand it. It's that anger that's built up in me. I never used to be this angry. It was after that physical assault. Everything changed. Those tainted, filthy fucking hands all over me. And then everything. The years. Getting told that I was the criminal for assaulting them. What? You want to see assault? Is that what it is? You want to see how I actually would assault somebody? Because it sure as fuck wouldn't look like that, where they were standing and breathing. So, and I warn people, after a certain point, it might just end up to where I end up snapping, and I'd rather be in prison. Because dealing with this nonsense, dealing with having to give away my last pennies, dealing with having to figure out where I'm going to eat and why I'm so depressed that I actually went and bought French fries. I don't want to buy fucking French fries. I want a place where I can cook my meals so I can have nothing but a clean diet. So I don't have to actually even cook, that a lot of it is raw so I can keep it fresh. But I can't have everything. I can barely have anything. And even like that choice from the charitable Christian ministries, you have the choice to be homeless and live in your vehicle, or you have the choice to give away every bit of your money for a trash, roach-infested trailer, crack house. And, no, I'm just completely over it. I just pray one of these days I offend the right person and that I'm just dead by morning. But instead I keep offending the right people and I keep surviving through all this nonsense, and I wake up laughing at them because I know damn well it wasn't me. And I admit to a lot of my faults. Every one of my faults. I can see it from a third-party perspective. I already know things about myself that I don't want to openly admit. Like the fact that sometimes my sentencing, my phrasing is off, and I sound like an idiot, an imbecile, because I didn't phrase something properly, because I don't have a script for these videos. So sometimes I'm very down on myself, and I know damn well those wrinkles, those frown lines that I've gotten from over the years of anger, they show. And people don't want to see that. They tell me, people don't want to see you cry or you're angry, Leticia. You should put a smile on your face. Smile. Smile through the pain. Grit your teeth and bear it. But that's what I do. It's kind of like when I do the splits and I force myself to do the splits even further. And I just have to sit there and wait till the pain subsides. Because that's how it is. With somebody that's been hurt as badly as me every single day of my life, you just kind of have to grin and bear it. And then snap. And then continually just hurt yourself over the actions and words and manipulation of others. So that's sadistic. Why would I need to hurt myself? Why in God's fucking name should I have to hurt my fucking self over these putrid individuals? But that's what society would rather see. Because they don't want me to see, they don't want to see a murder take place. But even when it was me, and I said, hey, these loaded guns are here, I'm not safe, they didn't care. I was already a criminal to them. They had already made up their mind years ago. And that's on them. Horrible people, ruining nice people's lives. I raised poodles and I raised bunnies, and I would rather deal with them. I would rather crawl into a hole and get eaten by something. Honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen soon. Like, I am really concerned about my mental health and the way that it's waning. Even exercising and eating, like eating a lot of fresh produce and stuff, I'm not feeling all that well lately. The holidays are coming up and I have no one again. And I just want to hurt the people that have hurt me the most, if you know what I mean. And I just think, like, why? Why do I have to suffer through this? Why do I have to openly admit this stuff? In psychology, we have to understand, if we don't speak it aloud and everything and get it out, sometimes it actually comes to fruition when it just goes over and over in your mind and you go crazy from it. So I try to release all these crazy thoughts. That way I don't act upon them. It's beneficial that way. Because then, if at least I'm letting it out through my words, my big girl words, then I don't have to let it out in those tiny little girl screams later. You know? I'm horrified. Completely horrified. People think that I'm just fucking with them. No. They see this look on my face all of the time. Scared. Startled. Nervous. Confused. Concerned. Yeah. And I try not to let anybody see any of it. I can just sit there and just have a plain bitch face. And most people have no idea that I'm plotting all kinds of things. Just like my insane family. My insane ex-husband and his family. So my daughter's gonna end up a fucking psychopath growing up. Watch. She's gonna be all murdering animals and shit, probably. Perfect. I just created a psychopath. Because you can't expect a child to grow up well after it was ripped away from its loving mother. And I wasn't able to influence that child in a positive way like I always did. So now she's going to be negatively affected through all of these videos and everything, and that's fine with me. That's what they wanted. They wanted to rip me away. They wanted to destroy her life and mine. That's what they got. They didn't anticipate that because they were stupid and they didn't do the research behind psychology of what happens after you do that kind of thing. But I've done plenty of research. I know that there's no good coming from this. No good about to happen from this. An hour of me fucking sitting in my car, running the engine. I'm about to take a nap. I don't feel well, and I'm gonna wake up and go brush my teeth. I don't feel fucking good at all. I'm angry. I'm fucking pissed. I just want to throw and break something right now, and I just want to fucking stab some one individual. One. It's all it will need. I would need just the one individual person. because after this many years, I don't give a fuck what happens to my father. He hasn't been near me in the vicinity of like physical touch in a long time. My brother, he'll get his fucking karma. He's a goddamn pervert, and he stole my fucking laptop. I didn't loan it to him. I said, can you fix this? This is one of the only things I was left in the divorce is this laptop, and I can't seem to get into it and yada yada. He fixed it, started using it. I didn't hear from him for like a year or two. My mother started coming around. She said, oh, that laptop, he fixed it a while ago and started using it for his online classes. Oh, that's nice. While I just got done with my divorce and lost my kid, and then I was out all kinds of electronics and all this, and I thought God was fucking with me. I thought there's no goddamn way that I keep getting fucking raped like this. Ripped off, raped, all this shit, destroyed, everything stolen from me. My sanity, I completely thought that it was just people fucking with me. I thought, no, there's no way. There's no way that somebody in this day and age, every single person, you need money for this, you need this and this and this. Whoa. Everyone is out to fucking rip you off. Everyone is out to fucking get shit from you, and they don't give a shit about you by the end of the day. They don't give a shit where you sleep, how you fucking get by, if you ate today, nothing. They would, oh wow. That's when I realized you just can't trust anyone. You cannot trust anyone. Not the system, not your family, no one. They will lie to you to your face. They will gaslight you until you're dead. And then you're suffering all this mental distortion because they gaslighted you for your whole existence, told you this and that to try to keep you appeased for a little while. Whoa. Oh, I'm horrified. I need a nap. And it's 11 o'clock at night. Wow. One of these days. Have a great night. It's November 7th, 2021. Lovely. I'm exhausted from this rant. I'm exhausted from every time I have to interact with anyone. Help any other person exhausts me. Everything. I just don't even want to deal with the world. And I used to push through it every day. Cooked every meal for my daughter, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just everything. I was so happy to just do for her and to just be there by her side, make sure she was taken care of, and books read to her, and information given to her, and painting and coloring and all this and that, and toys. So happy. People like me shouldn't have kids. Because then when all that gets ripped away from you, you have nothing left. No soul, no nothing. And you're literally, you're living off of hatred. Like, that's what my body is fueled by. Like, people are like, you lost all that weight. It must have been a gift from God. It must be the devil working through me to try to prove to the world there is the devil that exists through all these other people. That's all I can think of. I'm completely mortified that this is my reality. And people tell me all the time this and that. I don't believe shit anybody says anymore. Completely over it. You guys are all liars. Every bit of men are liars. Every single one of you. I can't believe that officer looked me straight in the fucking face and told me he was going to file a report for me and never did. Wow. And yet, all these people just run around doing shit like that officer that forced me to give him fellatio in my own home. How traumatic that was. How all of this trauma has forced me into just being so so paranoid and scared and schizophrenic, right? Fuck. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. Anyone. That's fucking horrifying. My reality is horrifying. And that's why people are like, man, you should write a novel. That's crazy. But tell me a little bit more. Relive your traumas just one more time so I can get off on that. Men are disgusting. They are. A lot of women too that I know that just don't know how to diet and exercise, and then they don't realize what's going on with their system. They need meds. Give me meds. Give me an instant fix, a pill that'll fix it. I was the same fucking way, man. Same way. I was in the same mindset of just gimme. Now I'm like, take, get away from me, take this, and also rip my body into pieces so I don't have to wake up by the next day. Have a lovely evening, everybody. I'm actually super glad that it's 50 degrees out. It'll be a nice night. Peace.